talk about their mothers. I was watching a football game one time, and this guy scored a bunch of shit, whatever, and they were excited. So they asked him about it afterwards. And the football player said, "My mom died last year, but I know she was watching my game from heaven tonight." And I wanted to be there to say, leave your mother alone. How dare you? She's dead. I mean, when are you done with your fucking kids? When are you finished with your fucking kids? Even after you're dead, you still have to go to their fucking games and shit? Leave your mother alone. She did her job. She raised you and it killed her. I mean, let her enjoy heaven. Don't you want your mother to enjoy heaven? Isn't that what you want your mom to be, just in heaven? Whee! This poor woman, the angels are like, "We're having an angel party. You want to come with us?" "I can't. I got to watch my son's games. He'll be very upset." Okay, good. He can't fucking hear me. When people die, it means they did their jobs, and you should forget them. That's what I think. Because it's unfair what we put on dead people. "Are you watching over me?" Yes, I'm watching all of it. You know, like when you see an old couple and they've been married for like 60 years. You know that kind of story? Everybody always loves that. The kind of people that always get applause based on the math of their lives. How long you been married? 60 years. Oh. Isn't that automatically wonderful? How do you know? You just know how long it's been.
For 60 years, every morning he tells me I'm a piece of shit.
But let's just say this is a happy couple, okay? They love each other. They've been married for 60 years. That's longer than most people really want to be alive, and they've been together that long. And now they're just an old couple, and they just walk together. You know when you see two people? And it's kind of lovely. They don't need anybody else. It's just the two of them. This is both of them. They just walk. They always walk somewhere nobody walks there. It's trash. Trucks. He's wearing a suit that is not a color. She's wearing a dress that's like a triangle, like a kid drew it. It's just fucking a dress with fruit on it. Nobody cares. And they just walk every day.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's cold.
You want to go to the store and get a cracker?
Yeah, let's get a cracker at the store.
Yeah, buy a cracker.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
And then one day, usually he dies first. They're walking, and he goes, "Ah. Ah." And she says, "Richard! Ah. Ah. Richard! Ah." And he dies. So now it's just her. Just Rose. And she's alone. Now she just stands in their house. Once in a while, somebody goes to get Rose because there's a wedding. "Come on, Rose. Enter. Just fucking come on. Come on. Fuck, come on. Fuck. Just want to push her from... She lives 10 more years. 10 years after Richard dies. And then 10 years later now, she's laying in a bed. She's dying. Somebody's there with her on their phone. So Rose is dying, and she says, "Well, at least now I get to be with my Richard forever." Where'd she get that idea? Where did that come from? I've looked it up. No religion teaches that when you die, you get to ruin heaven for your dead spouse. Why is that fair? Who gets... Richard's been dead for 10 years. He's been in heaven for 10 years. And somebody comes up to him, hey, your wife is coming. What? He just now? Yeah, Rose just died. She'll be here in about 20 minutes. They just gotta hose her down and tape the wings on. And then you're gonna be together forever. Wait a minute. Fuck. You said this was heaven. Why is this... I have a girlfriend here now. I don't want to fucking... She's the love of your life. She's not the love of my death, motherfucker. That's marriage. Marriage is a big deal. Marriage is a big deal. I went to a wedding the other day. I went to a gay wedding. I've been to a lot of gay weddings, which is not true. It's not true at all, but I did go to one. But I don't go to weddings generally because I don't like them. I hate it. Don't invite me, really. I think it's rude to invite people to your wedding. I really do. Nobody's happy to get that shit. You make it all pretty, and they're like, oh, fuck! This is gonna suck! Here's a helpful list of places to stay. Oh, great. I get to live in a La Quinta in Reading, Pennsylvania for 3 days because you want to get married for a couple of years. Nobody wants to watch you start your shitty thing. Nobody wants to see it. Everybody's in a shitty thing. That's what it is. That's what it is to be with somebody. You're either alone or you're in a shitty thing. That covers 100% of human beings. I know I can see there's young couples here and you're like, no, we're in a good one. It's really good. Yeah, fuck you. Who do you think you are? It just didn't get so arrogant. Yeah, I think we figured it out. No, yeah, you're the first ones. Of course it's gonna get shitty. That's part of it. It's like going to a horror movie, and in the first minute, you're like, I think they're all gonna be fine. No, they're all gonna die, and you're gonna hate the person you love right now. It's the way it works. Love plus time minus distance equals hate. That's just the way it goes. I'm not saying don't do it. You should do it. It's the best thing. It's the best part of life, love is. But don't be greedy and expect it to last. Don't be amazed that a butterfly died because you shot it in the face. Just fall in love, make a fucking mess. It goes shitty, you don't realize it till too late, and then you cry a lot and move on. It's the best part of life. It is. I've always loved love. I've always loved this. It's always been my favorite part of life is meeting somebody and going, oh, shit, that person. That's the best feeling. Now, why the fuck would that just, oh, yeah, for years, for our whole lives, just, oh, yeah. That's insane to expect that. And then it rots and dies. It's just the way it goes. It's like if you see a person in the park making bubbles with a big wand, you know, with soap, and sometimes they make a really big one and he goes, oh, hey, hey, ah, shit, okay. That's all. You don't stand over, liar! You don't get mad at the soap stain. It gets so shitty, man. It does. Oh. Oh.
And then I go home to my wife, and it's like coming back from Vietnam. I don't relate to my family anymore.
You wouldn't understand.
I'm Bruce Dern, fucking taking off my clothes and walking into the ocean. I just fucking can't relate to society.
Sell the car,
anymore.
sell the house, sell the kids.
Yeah.
Send that letter.
Yeah, exactly.
That Kurt's letter.
Just less and less
Colonel
able to
CK.
fucking... Colonel CK. Yeah. Nothing to say to her.
Oh, damn.
My wife is like fucking a astronaut's wife with a shaky cigarette in her hand.
He's fine. We all love him here.
Very proud.
When was the last time you saw your family? You've been on the road for a while, right?
Yeah, well, this morning I'm in New York. We're all in the city, so I saw my family this morning. My wife came into the city only because we had to go to couples therapy, so she brought the kids.
Today?
Yeah, we went yesterday.
You ever just yank your cock out and say, "Why don't you toot on this for a few minutes?" That's how you got to do it, man. As a married guy.
Holy shit, that's a great idea.
How's that working out?
If I did that, she would just do whatever she was doing. She wouldn't even look. We don't look at each other. And if I took out my dick and said, "Why don't you toot on this for a while?" she'd keep whatever fucking emailing. She'd be looking at whatever real estate wherever she wants to live when she leaves me. She'd be like, "I'm sorry, did you say something?"
And the counseling
it would be nothing.
The counseling is obviously her idea.
Oh no, I wanted.
You went for it.
Yeah. I'm the one who said I wanted to go. This fucking guy we did it last time we went. It's a double session. It was $800.
Wow.
$800.
What does he do? Eat both your assholes while he talks to you?
Jesus. That's
$800.
wow. How's it? Is it doing anything?
Oh, it's great. Everything's great.
It's great. Everything's great.
Oh, worth every penny.
It's fantastic. Great.
Yeah.
$400 a person?
Well, it's $400 an hour. He don't break it up by the person.
Oh, you go 2 hours?
Yeah, it's couples.
Was it a drive-in movie? He puts her in the trunk before he drives. There's only one person here.
Is there anything
Listen up, honey.
Is there anything you could share from those get-togethers?
Well, no, not anything about us. The guy, though, the first day, he's telling us about it. A lot of times they tell you about other couples to give you comparisons. And he's like, hey, I know a couple, because I'm on the road a lot and I work a lot. So he's like, it's hard for people with careers. I know a couple. She's a lawyer, and he's a sports writer. Right away, I'm like, I can Google that and make some connections.
Yeah, really.
Down.
I can figure
and
that
he's
one
like, while he's covering March Madness,
He's a lawyer. He's a sports writer.
and he goes, well,
On
he's
Fox this
covering
fall.
March Madness, and she's lecturing about pornography and law around the. So I'm like, I know who these people are.
Yeah.
I can figure it out in 10 seconds. Why are you telling me this?
The next couple's going to come in and he goes, I know a couple.
I know a couple. He's
Guy,
on stars in Lucky
comedian.
Louie.
Lucky Louie.
The first initial in his name are Loui. Fucking douche.
That's got to be something, though. You ever sitting there and listen to, like, a therapist or something and go, like, he doesn't get this at all? Or...
No. Well, the thing is, what happens in therapy is you get it. You really say the shit. It's only because my wife, I know she doesn't have XM in the car she's in, that I can say that the other day she said, she pointed at my head and said, I hate him.
Oh, at the head.
Yeah, at my head.
Oh, God.
So here's the thing. You get in there and you fucking have it out. You say everything. And then you get addicted to that. And you can say, outside of the therapist's office, you can say nothing. Like, outside of the therapist's office, we're just, like, at home, we're just, like, just bullshit talking about, what did Rosie O'Donnell say today? Like, we can't, but if we start talking about anything real, it gets lightning rodded to what we fucking have said to each other. And if he's not there, we're going to kill each other.
Wow.
So we can only talk for 1 hour a week.
She said, I hate him?
And we spend all the other hours of the week in this strange avoidance. If we were in a boxing ring during the week, people would be whistling and throwing paper and do something. And then for that 1 hour, oh yeah, motherfucker, it gets hot in there.
I don't.
Oh, shit.
I don't know how far we can take this, but why do you guys hate each other? Or can you discuss that?
What did you think when she said, I hate you? What did you feel when she said, I hate you?
I hate you too.
Okay.
Is it just over time, slowly
I'd
but
say
surely,
about you.
the relationship broke down, or is this? Was there?
Oh, we got 2 kids. I think it's like this for almost any marriage, except for that we have. The thing is, we have a traditional marriage. I make all the money, and she raises the kids. But we have a traditional marriage in 2007, which means that you can't just say that.
Not traditional.
No, I don't get to say, I bring home the bacon.
Right.
You watch the kids.
You
That's
fry it
what
up
we're
in a
doing.
pan.
Fry it up in a pan.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. I bring home the bacon, I fry it up in the pan, I feed it to the kids, and if I mention that I pay the bills, I'm a fucking asshole. Like I'm a piece of shit for, like somehow I'm being... prehistoric but it's true that I pay them, So it's hard. Like, marriage is harder now, I think, than it ever has been. And it's not like this guy. He wrote a book, the guy we're going to, and it's all about how it's hard for marriage now because when the women work. My wife doesn't fucking work.
So your theory of your book goes out the fucking window.
Yeah, it's hard, but mostly it's because when you have kids, it's hard to fuck anymore, and you also care about your kids far more than you care about your spouse. I mean, my kids are my life now. I really don't give a shit about her. I really don't, because how could I next to my kids?
I'm laughing because I'm fucking stunned. It's just like a stunning thing.
The honesty.
Yeah.
The honesty.
Well, it's true. If our kids, look, I've got a lot of history with my wife.
and there's a lot. It's a complicated relationship, and I feel I couldn't. I feel a lot of push and pull in many directions, and I'm fighting really hard to save it. We're in therapy, and my whole life right now is focused on saving our relationship and getting it back to somewhere good.
Right. Oh, but
so it's the biggest deal in my life. But if my kids weren't here, I wouldn't even call her to say goodbye. I just walked. I wouldn't leave a note. I would just stop being near
So
her
you're obviously
fucking cancerous body.
You're saving it for it for the kids then.
Totally, 100%.
That's why I'm so glad I never had kids. Oh my God! Because the whole thing you're talking about, like I used to get ragged on for not doing things
chores.
around the house. I had these set chores to do. There weren't much, but it was like, why? I'm going out. It's a new career for me doing radio.
Yes.
I'm really like learning the trade at the time. This was years ago, and she's not working, and I'm bringing home the money. And believe me, a lot more money than I was when we were both working, and I was knocking tin.
Yeah.
But then,
Well, the money you brought in just to help you out a little bit gave her the luxury of not having to work.
not having to work.
Right.
So,
Which is kind of key, I think, to the whole thing.
But then there'd be these little chores I would have. Like, I'd have to take out the garbage, and it was my job to vacuum. And like, if I didn't do it, I would be ragged on. Like, I remember my mother fucking yelling at me for not vacuuming.
No, and the thing is, to me, if you don't have kids, I don't get any of it.
And that was it.
If you're married and you don't have children and you have a bad week, get the fuck out. Why the fuck would you save a marriage that's stressful?
Right.
When you have kids, that's everything. You got to stay together for the kids because you got to be. It's not even that they need to have two parents to be together. It's just that you want to be there for your children because you fucking care about them. But you got to look at it on the other side. Like, the thing about having kids too is that spend one day, if you have kids, spend one full day with them where you're like, every time I give my wife a break, I fucking totally realize what she's going through. It's fucking murder. You want to kill everybody in the world. When you're alone with kids and you don't have, I have a job. Even when I'm taking care of the kids, I fucking got my computer on my knee and I'm working. Like I'm fucking writing a movie.
You're still working.
Yeah, I'll call just to make myself feel okay about the fucking trap that children feel like on a given day. I'll call my manager and just say, what's going on? And he'll be like, well, we just booked another OA date in Camden. Oh, good. Go read a story to my daughter. You know what I mean? Because I'm not sitting in a room reading fucking The Happy Hen and nothing else is going on. I've got a show I just booked in Camden. I'm put on my website. There's people talking about me around the country, buying tickets to my shows, ordering my DVDs on Amazon. That helps me sit in a room and read to my boring little kids. But my wife has fucking nothing except to focus on what a piece of shit I am for dropping cum into her and making people that have ruined her life. That's all she's got. So I actually completely see her side to it. We are, and what we found out in therapy is that we're trapped and that it's neither of our faults.
So how?
But that doesn't make us go, oh, okay.
The only solution is killing the children.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
throwing them into a garbage can and letting them die next to a rat in a milk carton.
And you two just, like, spur of the moment, laughing, heading off to the Caribbean.
Oh, my God, we'd have a ball.
Just having fun like the old days.
I actually think when I picture that, if we got rid of the kids, I would walk out the door. Actually, what I do is fuck her face, and we probably get along great.
Why don't you guys go on vacation together? Leave the kids with one of your parents for a few days, and seriously, go away for a few days.
I want to punch you in the face for saying
that bad?
Oh, shit.
Is that bad? I don't know.
It's just so complicated. One of them, she's still breastfeeding the kid who's 2. Can't get the kid away from her. No,
bad?
It's a mess. Never do that.
Hey,
never do that.
Wow, man.
That's like walking up to a guy in a concentration camp and going, why don't you just take a little trip somewhere and get out of here? If you don't like it here, why are you hanging around?
No, but you can't give them to like their parents or something like that.
Because there's Nazis that will shoot me in the face if I leave.
2's too young to leave a kid.
Wow, man.
Yeah, 2. No, we can't leave the kid.
Let's go to Minnesota, I think. Chris, what's up?
Hey, love your show.
Thank you.
Hey, Louis, I completely agree. To me, I think I'm just a dick for my wife. I'm just a dick in the house.
Well, that one lost steam faster than you expected.
Yeah, I know.
He won't admit that he doesn't care about his wife either.
Yeah. No, to me, I'm just a dick to the wife, and so. Hey, Jimmy, got a question for you.
I'm sorry I did that. I'm embarrassed that I did that.
I did.
Who is that?
That's his apology.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, David.
Use it now for embarrassing phone calls.
Let's try to get this back on the rails. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Oh no, Louie, you're absolutely spot on. Same predicament here. You just go numb, man. You know, but I'm at the point where I couldn't give a fuck if my wife went out and got filled up with somebody else's cock custard. I'm done. Don't give a shit, man. I'm just holding on, waiting for the kids to graduate. Get the fuck out, man. I had my.
Oh no, if my wife cheated on me, it would change nothing.
Yeah,
it really would.
You wouldn't leave her?
It would be leverage for just the little things during the day. That's all it would be.
You wouldn't leave her?
No, because I can't. I got plenty of reasons to do it now. I got kids. We want to stay together. We want to have the kids. And you know, and the thing is, the complex thing about it is that we share the kids, and that makes us happy together. Like we, as parents, we're fucking the best friends in the world. We watch our kids do fun shit, and it's hugely rewarding.
That's
the two of us.
Common denominator there.
Yeah, exactly. So like we'll be hissing at each other. I hate you. I'll never suck your dick again. Fuck you. You whole fucking heart. Oh look. Oh look what she did.
Oh my God.
Oh, isn't that cute? So we do, but that joy that we share with the kids, totally real, and it's actually making life worth living. So that's the thing that's complicated about it. When I pictured leaving, I'm not only sad to think of not being with my kids every day, which I am. I'm also sad about her. She's part of that. She's part of our.
You won't be able to share that with her.
No, that's bigger. And actually, you know, look, I'm almost 40. My dick is finally starting to get 8% less hard than it used to be. So like the fucking joy of having a family is starting to outweigh the sex a little bit. I mean, that's kind of sad because it's like, you know, I'm not going to care that nobody fucks me in a couple of years.
Dude, I think
that makes me want to kill myself.
You want to do it when she's laying there sleeping, start eating her ass like a fucking loon. Go in there and start eating her ass. She'll be like, this Lou is
She sleeps with the fucking children. So I'd have to move my baby to the side.
Go like this. If the kid looks at you, go.
Oh, he inadvertently sticks his face in the baby's ass.
Life can be stressful here, though, because life is good, and so we want it to be better. And we try to perfect everything in our lives, and it's like a job. Being a consumer is like a job. You have to make sure you get the best one. If you get a Blu-ray player, you got to do research. You got to look at reviews of a player. You got to go on Amazon and read a really long review written by an insane person who's been dead for months because he shot his wife and then himself after explaining to you that the remote is counterintuitive. It's got really small buttons on the remote, he said, before he murder-suicided his whole family. And now you're reading it and going, I don't know. I don't know which one to get. I don't know. I got to get the best one. Why? Who are you, the king of Siam, that you should get the best one ever? Bring me the best. Who cares? They're all the same, these machines. They're all made from the same Asian suffering. There's no difference.
The thing is that Ellen is not a popular person. She's kind of a rotten, smelly, awful,
she sucked when I met her.
Is she not a nice lady? Idiot. She's. I wish we were on XM so I could describe her completely.
Of course,
but I can't.
Wait, what have you heard?
The FCC would not let her be accurately described.
This is interesting.
It would be like if a cop said who shot you and it was hard. He'd be like, "You got to take me off the air because I can't tell you."
Jimmy met her in Vegas, so this is really interesting because he got the big blow off.
She was doing something for XM, and we were out there for XM. So I was like, I'll walk up, and she was being filmed. I'm like, hey, I get my pictures with everybody. It's just what I do.
You didn't get a picture with me. I've met you twice now.
Yeah, but I'm too nervous to ask.
Okay.
So I walked up to Ellen. And I'm like, hey, I'm a comic. I'm also doing something with XM. I just wanted to get a quick picture. She's like, oh no, I can't. I'm in the middle of shooting, but she wasn't, and I wanted to spit in her face.
Yeah, she's really.
I gave her a good trashing, if that's any consolation.
Good for you.
I know people that work for her as writers, and she's dope and mean to people.
Oh, easy, Lou,
like
on the language.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's a spoil sport.
She's a real ninny.
She's a right rotter, isn't she?
Yeah. Yes, she's a right rotter.
Yeah, she's
yes, most definitely.
They went to commercial, I was reading recently, and she yelled at her writers, why did you write that for me?
Yeah, she's really got gallons of.
Yeah, that made the press last week.
Was she a good stand-up in a day?
Yes, I think she was.
Okay to say?
She was a good stand-up. Okay,
she was fine. She was all right. I know she never made me laugh really, but because she's got that way about her,
Being a leather.
Well, no, not that one. Yeah, I don't. Who cares about that? But the fact that she has this sort of MO means that people pile it on.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, look at her working. She shouldn't be working. And whatever, that story. You know what? I've had a show where I had writers, and often I'd look at them and say, you guys stink, and I hate you. So the stories about how tough she is on the writers, that I take with a grain of salt because
Well, I guess
there's a natural, you got to crack the whip, and also there's a natural thing where the person who's on camera is taking the hits for bad jokes.
But would you do it in front of a live audience?
What's that?
Would you do it in front of a live audience?
Oh, no, never.
I think that's what the story was
really?
about. Yeah, she did a joke and it sucked, and she goes, "Why would you write that for me?" And she was dead serious.
Wow, I don't know.
While they were in break.
Yeah, no, she sucks.
You had good writers on Lucky Louie, man.
Every one of them.
They were funny, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is a God. That's all I think you can say, honestly. I mean, you can say there is a God if you believe in it. You could just get to say it because you believe it. You can't argue with somebody's beliefs. I believe in God. Now you don't. Yes. I mean, it's faith. It's not science. It's faith. I envy people who have faith. They wake up in the morning and there he is. They're like, oh, hi. That's so nice that you came again today. He's always there. I don't have that. I wake up and there's nobody. It's just my bad breath and my garlic penis. It used to be at least a boner that all right, let's get going. But it's just so. But I don't think you can say there's no God, because that takes a lot of confidence to say, nope, there's definitely not a God. How do you know? Just because doesn't seem like there's one? So there's not one. How can a human being think that they know that there isn't anything? I mean, you're a human. You can see for 100 yards tops. How could you possibly know? God might be right behind you all the time, just like... I think if there is a God, it's probably not the way they describe him in the Bible. They say he's our father and we're his children. That's a weird story. He's our father and we're his children. Where's our mother? How could we not... What did he do to our mom? Something happened. Somewhere in heaven there's a porch with a dead lady under it. I think God was if there is a God, at least he has an ex-wife. Maybe that's what it is. God's divorced, and we're in hit like this is our weekend with God. It feels like a long time, but this is just our weekend with Dad, and then he's gonna take us to Mom's apartment. And she's going to be sitting there kind of nervous. I made you a cheese sandwich. And we're like, I don't know you. And it feels weird. I think that we made God a man because we wanted men to be in charge. So it made sense. Because it doesn't make sense that men are in charge. It makes sense that women would be in charge. Because your mom is the first person who takes care of you. It would just make sense that mothers would run the world. And they do. It's the opposite. So we have this weird system of men being. It's kind of upside down. And I think the reason is because women were in charge a long time ago, and they were really mean. They were horrible, and you had to walk around naked, and they'd flick your penis and laugh at you. So we're so scared of them. And then finally, one guy punched a woman, and she was like, "Well," he's like, "We can hit them," and then that was it. That was it.
But this movie is just a movie about people, and it's also crosses. Joe plays kind of a nervous liberal, and then his family is extremely blue collar. They're not necessarily
extremely,
extremely blue collar,
extremely outspoken.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not political,
right?
But they're culturally outspoken.
Yeah.
And so the movie bleeds from one side to the other, as
which is nice because it also feels like that is what real life is like. Like all of us that have that are liberal or have liberal friends have been around that person's family, and their family's like that.
Of course,
the family of origin sometimes will be like just the polar opposite.
It's very rare that a family has the same. I mean, it's bizarre and actually unhealthy. When a family's the same.
Yeah, the whole way down.
Like
no,
you
all the
shouldn't
way
be
down.
your parents, essentially. That would be so terrible.
Well, like Shane Gillis does a very funny thing in New York. He's a very funny anomaly in stand-up, which is that he's a red state product.
Yeah.
And he plays to Brooklyn kids in New York.
Right.
And I've seen him in front of audiences where you could just feel, as soon as he gets on stage without him talking, they go like, oh, what is this guy?
Yeah.
And he goes, my father's a Fox News guy.
Yeah.
And they just go, boo.
Yeah.
And he goes, you guys, all your fathers are Fox News guys. And then they cheer right after they booed.
Yeah.
They cheer.
Yeah.
It's a really funny thing. It's this love-hate. So this movie is about a guy who came from that and lives in New York and needs to go back to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
People have everyone has people in their lives that you don't, it's not your kind of person, but you just love them. You just love them. You know?
Yeah.
The thing with especially presidential politics, it's every 4 years.
I know.
We have this
obsession.
Well, it's a discussion that's very important. It's like a family thing. It's like a family thing. It's like a family decision. The way people take it, it's very personal.
Yeah.
It's like a member of your, it's like if you had an election in your family. If you're in a family that's like living as a family and you had an election, is mom or dad going to be in charge for the next 4 years? Or is our brother going to take dad's spot?
Right.
You know, which is what it felt like to me when Clinton won. It felt like our brother took over for dad, you know?
Yeah.
Or
he was one of us.
Yeah, or maybe 3 of your siblings brought some woman that you don't know to the house and said, we're going to replace mom with her, and we have the votes to do it. And you would go, what? The amount of anger and passion that an election in your family would have.
That's what we're doing right
That's
now.
what it's like. That's because it's very emotional. It's not a rational thing.
Yeah.
It's not based on, you know, picking somebody to do a job. It's based on how we all feel and what we want to say to the rest of the world and what we're afraid of, and you know what I mean? It's a big deal. So I'm a American citizen.
Yes, you are.
So
congratulations.
Yeah, so whoever's president affects my life like it does everybody else's.
Yeah.
A vote is a personal thing and it's a personal right, but your vote also affects everybody else. So it's a really tricky thing. And I think the thing about American politics is that it's always going to be a big, messy fight. That's what democracy is. Like, people would feel more united and at peace if we were all being oppressed by one, you know, government. Then everybody gets along better. But when we're all trying to decide, and we're all very different from each other, it's a big, ugly, difficult fight.
To read about you is to know that nothing, even close, is as important as your children.
Yeah, easily. Being a dad that's the most important job.
And what did they think of the comedy? Did they love it? Did they say, it's not me, Dad, it's funny how you use us, but it's not me?
Well, the stand-up that I do, I've changed the way I talk about my kids just because I like sharing my stand-up with my kids. I like showing them what I do. Yeah. And, you know, the first time I ever showed my oldest daughter a bit I used to do about hide and seek, playing hide and seek.
Yes, tell me that story.
With her, and it was about getting really frustrated that she would hide it in plain sight, literally, and I would have to pretend she wasn't, that she was hiding better. And on stage, I would say what BS this was because she's, you know, I mean, I have to pretend she's good, and I would rail about it and get angry. And I showed this to her when she was, I don't know, 6, and she laughed a lot because her younger sister. It was like that now. Like she was having to patronize her younger sister.
Oh, I see. She was doing the same thing.
So she's like,
to her
that's like
sister,
what
you
it
were
is.
doing
Yeah,
to
she's
her.
like, I know exactly how you feel. And she was able to make that connection. And she also thought it was funny that I got so upset. She knew it was funny because in real life at home, I'm not like that. You know, I mean, I get upset like any parent does, but not unreasonably. So she thought, you know, she knew.
But would she say to her friends, I have the funniest dad in the world? He's the funniest man to be around.
Oh, geez, I don't know. I mean, what I hope is that her thoughts about me are as a father.
As
you
a
know?
loving father.
I'm there for her when she gets off the bus from school. I'm there for her. I take her home. I cook her dinner. We do her homework together, and her sister, same thing. You know, so I take care of them. To me, that's what I want them to remember. I think, of course, the work is like something that hopefully, when they're like 18, 19, they'll Google me and go, wow, this guy did a bunch of stuff while he was doing that, you know. It's not important to me that I like to model for them a good life in my career as far as, you know, trying really hard and being responsible. I tell them when something big is at stake and when it doesn't go well or when it does. I tell them that stuff as a role model, you know. But I could be doing the same thing if I was working at some company making widgets or something, you know.
road, but I envy them on this level that they figured out what's going on with them and they fixed it. What an amazing gift to know what the fuck is wrong with you. Who else gets to have that? It's just a mushy, I don't fucking have any idea. I would give $1 million to just wake up, oh, I'm an owl. That's what the thing is. I just gotta blink slow and eat a mouse. Because life is very confusing. Even I'm 49 years old and I haven't found a cruising altitude to my identity. I'm still fucking confused. I get new feelings and they upset me. I don't like new feelings. I want to know what I like and get it and just die. That's what I want to do at this point. Like, I have a weird relationship with this movie that's on cable sometimes. It's called Magic Mike. You ever seen this movie? Magic Mike. For those of you watching this on video many years from now, Magic Mike was a movie about male strippers starring Matthew McConaughey and Channing Tatum when it was made from whatever you're watching. But anyway, we had a whole other thing going on. This building's not here anymore. But you're watching it on a dusty thing and it's all rubble. And you're watching this. I don't know why you're watching this out of everything. But when things were real easy, we made movies like Magic Mike. It's just a nice movie about men who strip. And every time I'm flipping around and it comes on, I always stop. And then I play a little game of chicken with this movie. I stop because it's a good movie. It's well made, directed by Steven Soderbergh, good director. And so I get into it, I get into the story, and then they start stripping. And then I start having all these feelings. My face gets a little hot. At first I just get hostile for no reason. I go, fucking But then there's one part of the movie that I like. I have a favorite part of Magic Mike. Matthew McConaughey, he's wearing leather pants, no shirt, and he goes,
"The law says you cannot touch, but I think I see a lot of lawbreakers out there."
Like, it's that. It's like perfect. It's the way he rolls out of him.
I think I see a lot of lawbreakers out there.
I just really like that. I like it. And when the movie comes on, I'm always like, all right, that's to where he says that. And then he says it, and I'm like, fucking good. It's really good. I like it a lot. Here's how much I like it. I don't really do impressions, and I kind of nail that one because I think about it all the time. I'm walking around my house like,
law says you can't touch. Law says you can't touch.
And I go up to my dog,
but I think I see a lot of lawbreakers right here.
I like that part. And then after he says it, all these strippers come on, Matthew McConaughey, all these strippers, Channing Tatum comes out, fucking. And then I go like, fuck, and then I have to stop. Because I'm starting to get a feeling. I'm just starting to get like a feeling. It's not a boner. It's not a boner. But I can feel my dick starting to turn over a little bit. Just starting to... You know when you can feel your dick kind of unfold? It's like a pool toy that's been blowing up for a while. The wrinkles are starting to come out. It's taking shape. It's like... Just that early. My dick's just waking up. What are you guys doing here? Anyway, I've never watched the whole movie. I've never seen Magic Mike in its entirety. because I don't want to see it. I don't want to see the end of Magic Mike. I know what the end of Magic Mike is. I'm pretty sure that the end of Magic Mike is that I'm gay. Pretty sure that's how it ends. I don't want to see the ending. I want to stay like this. You know why? Because I'm 49 years old. I don't want to enter the gay community now. This is not the version of me that's going to have an awesome time as the new gay guy. So fuck that. And that's my right, by the way, because that's about me. That is my life. I would never discriminate against another person for being gay. I wouldn't dream of it, but I have every right to oppress and discriminate against my own possible budding homosexuality. That's mine to just violently push down. Like it's a dude I'm trying to make blow me right now. And you know, I haven't become like generally attracted to men. I'm not sexually attracted to men. Just Matthew McConaughey and Channing Tatum. Those two guys? Fuck. Seriously. And he's like, just fucking sexy. And Channing, kind of dumb face, like oh shit. Oh, fuck. I like it. But men in general, I'm not into it. It's just these, you know what I think it is I'm only gay for the best. I'm top shelf gay. I'm not retail gay, you know what I mean? I'm not off the rack gay. I'm not gonna go to J.C. Penney's and suck a bunch of dicks. I'm gonna go to Neiman Marcus and get the signature collection. Platinum dick. The best. The best dick. Because I'll try the best anything. If it's the best one, I'll try it. Like, I don't like cognac. I would never buy a bottle of Hennessy and keep it in my house. But I had never tried the best cognac. If somebody was like, would you like to try this cognac? This cognac was 500 years old, 300 years ago. Like, yeah, fucking give me that. I want to go to a Kenyan restaurant. I know all the foods that I like. But if somebody was like, this is the best Kenyan restaurant, it takes 6 months to get a reservation, I can get you in. They fly live turtles in. And you bite off its screaming face while it's alive. And every turtle you eat is the last of his species. Can't wait to eat that fucking turtle. I'm gonna end his people with my mouth. The best, I'll try it. If somebody was like, we have a guy here, he has the best dick. The best dick ever. His dick has been soaking in olive oil since he was 5 years old. We've been feeding him nothing but butter and penises his whole life. He is the best dick, and you can suck it right now. Well, let me see it. Can I see it? Can you take it out? It's my favorite thing now. Fuck, I shouldn't have looked at it. Just bring it closer. I don't know what I'm going to do, but bring it closer, please. I think at that point you put it in your mouth, right? If you're looking at the best dick ever and you're not sure you want to suck it, just put it in your mouth. And then decide. Just for like 20 seconds. That's a long time. That's 20 seconds. That's a long time to have a dick in your mouth that you're ambivalent about. It's 20 seconds. If you have a dick in your mouth for 20 seconds, you are not deciding. 20 seconds. I'll show you. This is 20 seconds with a dick in your mouth.
It really is like Vegas, kind of. That it's got that Vegas vibe. It doesn't feel like I stayed in another hotel right on the boardwalk once, and it felt like I stepped into the 70s.
And it feels like you're in Atlantic City.
Yeah, you know you're in Atlantic City.
Right. The Borgata could trick you into thinking, man, I took a fucking flight to Vegas.
I went to Vegas.
That's exactly the difference, yeah.
There's some old diner waitress bringing the drinks at this other casino, bringing the drinks to the table, and you're just like, oh, and then you look at the Borgata babes and shit, but walking around, they're just stunning.
No, the other Atlantic City places, it's like you're faced with the economy you're hurting with everything you do. There's supposed to be more of a buffer there.
Yeah.
Where you can get lost in it. But Atlantic City, the dealer looks at you like, thanks for fucking up my hometown, asshole. Would you like another card? Like they just look depressed.
God damn, that is it.
You know?
Yeah.
My father owned a house, and now I live in a fucking shack.
Right.
So that you could play blackjack.
I hope you're having fun.
Yeah.
Oh, look, blackjack.
I would hit on that, yes.
You so see the corruption. All you have to do is just drive around a little bit, less than a mile from those beautiful casinos, and you realize they don't give a fuck about the local economy.
No, it's all being sucked out.
It's like,
I don't know where that money's going.
It's another kind of tick, but it's a remote. It's like it doesn't even spread nearby.
No.
It's like a scientific taking money. It's like a tick that has a long distance sucker.
Yeah. They must have helicopters at night that literally lift it
the
up
money
into the sky.
to make sure it does not touch
the local economy.
Anybody
and
there.
the politicians, they obviously just look the other way.
Yeah.
It's like you're not even going to throw $1 into the economy.
No.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah, what do you
say?
mean? What are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say?
Who you saying is doing this?
What? You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
We're already in a weird spot with Donald Rumsfeld.
I bet he knows where that money goes.
You know what? I think Atlantic City's beautiful.
Every
inch of it is beautiful.
The Borgata.
No,
it's fantastic. Go see Louis.
Jobs. They got jobs.
They got jobs everywhere. For
Jobs. You know how many people they employ?
Jobs.
There weren't those jobs when it was before the casinos. I don't know what
there was just a really kind of a nice area.
Steel Pier. What the hell happened?
Where someone could actually open a store and try to have a business instead of a job. But now they got jobs. They get to wear a vest and deal cards to fucking assholes and Gaddafis.
Yeah, Gaddafi.
They get to fucking
great. Jobs.
You mean people used to open up their own family business down there?
Yeah,
like bakery or delicatessen.
Yeah, wherever the fucking wherever the Trump down there is. Does he have one down there?
Oh, he's got the Taj
Trump
and the Marina. I don't know how much.
Yeah,
he
Trump
actually
Marina
really
sitting where some guy used to have an old fish restaurant. He had the restaurant from 1850 in his family, and now it's a fucking Trump Marina hotel.
It's right there on the
I
water.
worked that fucking place, or is the Trump Castle? It was called. I don't know where that is now.
I think they changed the name at some point.
I worked at Trump Castle, and I remember just watching people. I had never really been down there before, and I'm just watching these fucking old ladies from around the country come on buses. Like from the middle of Ohio or Kentucky, literally. Like you see a bus that says like Lexington, Kentucky. And they and these fucking old women come out of the bus, and they're they took a medical hit from the trip. Like you just see them, and they get out of these fucking buses they were in for hours, days.
Yeah, blood just clotting in their legs.
Helping the 60-year-olds helping the 70-year-olds off the bus, and they go get shit rooms.
Yeah.
And then they pour buckets of fucking coins, all of their fucking retirement, all they got left. They just pour it in buckets into these machines. And then they leave. And then so I'm watching all this, and it all says Trump all over it. And then I was in an elevator, and Trump got on with Marla Maples at the time.
Yeah, okay.
And everyone was like, oh, there they are. They were really excited. They saw them. Oh my God, there's Trump and the woman he's fucking illicitly.
And they get on the elevator, and Trump looked miserable. I was in the elevator alone with him just by chance, and he just looked miserable. He looked so unhappy.
Yeah.
And all that money, I realized is a weird, like, he has all this billions of dollars, but he's fucking miserable because he needs $100 billion to look in the mirror and not want to kill himself. He needs that. These old ladies from Kentucky, they don't need anything. They have like maybe $1,000 in the bank.
Right.
It's like they're coming. It's like a religion. Like they're coming to help him feel better. Like they're coming to give him money.
Giving him the money.
He's like, I have $100 billion and I don't fuck everybody. It's not enough. And these old ladies are like, I have maybe 1,000. You can have all of it.
I'll
that
give you
help?
all of it.
I'll take a bus all day to give it to you.
We could have pumped it into our own economy where we live.
Yeah, I could have given it to my neighbor's store that closed last week.
But I figured I'd come all this way just to dump it into
Hopefully
this
make you a little
machine.
happier.
Yeah.
That's classic.
With the only buffer being this vague hope that I might leave
that I
with
may be
more,
one of the trillions.
But it ain't gonna happen. So
No.
we'll just pour money out.
I want to know more about the family fish business. The little restaurant that was
poor
there.
guy.
Forget that.
With his little boat. He would
Maybe a
just
little
go
bait
out
shop
every day.
Bait shop on the pier.
No, he
bait
used
shop.
to wipe off the table when you walked in, and he'd feel real
nice,
proud.
right?
Yeah.
Nice.
You'd smell like the ocean air. It was open windows in the summer.
What was his
Yeah.
last day like, you think?
Wrecking ball.
A bunch of suits
A
and
wrecking ball
ties.
with the whole family just
No.
outside crying.
Yeah, and
You
now in
see-
that exact same spot, it's ring, ding, 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 ding,
Oh God, that's all you did. It was Donald Trump and a bunch of other guys in suits with golden shovels taking that photo of them breaking ground, and in back is the boarded up fish place, just ready to be plowed asunder.
That was there for 150 years.
You know, and it's not the fault of some difficult thing for our family. It destroyed our family.
It's like,
My
do you
wife and I
have to
broke
make it
up over
real?
the stress of it.
Wow.
But my daughter's the greatest thing in my life, and we're all, you know, it's just pure joy, but it's so hard and it's extreme. And he was so respectful that it was breaking my heart. He never said, you filthy piece of shit. He just said, you're so wrong, you wouldn't believe it.
But it's like
you're so way off. You're spreading a thing that's really, really harmful. And I felt like such a piece of shit.
But he was making it real, and you're making it fun.
Yeah, but that guy might have
No, but
said
I said though, the one thing I said that was wrong. I don't like saying things that are just wrong. I mean it because it's not wrong that she has a retard making cunt, because that's what one came out of there. It's not a nice way of saying it.
It's not medical, but
Of course not. Their technical jargon.
Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Lou.
The thing that was wrong to say is that there's no challenges to having a Down syndrome baby. I just didn't know that. And, you know, we always say reckless shit. I don't care. I don't fact check my comedy.
No, well, you shouldn't have
The
to.
goal is
you
a
just
laugh.
let it out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only thing is that guy, he might have saved, because what he showed you was the passion that people feel about that, and it's like they may have come at, like that may have been a very helpful email in the long run. Like sometimes you underestimate how frustrated people are with something, and then you hit it and they come after you, and it's fucking relentless.
The best thing would have been like 5 minutes later, get another email, go, I'm just fucking with you, with a picture of a beautiful daughter, just perfect.
Yeah. She's amazing.
This is my daughter. I'm just fucking with you. I don't care. I was laughing my balls off.
No, and I've gotten angry emails before, and I never care. It's not my lookout. Other people people choose what to get offended by. You know, people get offended by. You know, I had a funny moment at the Comedy Cellar. I did this joke about 9/11.
Oh, I don't go for that.
You see? You see? I was doing a story about when I was married. It was really about how being married, you're in trouble all the time. You feel like you're in trouble when you're married, Anthony.
Constantly.
I don't get that sense from you. You guys seem like you're okay.
Yeah, we're all right, man.
Yeah.
I wish I had a story,
that's because
but
you
I
hit
don't.
her, right? Because if you hit her, it's not.
Sometimes you gotta.
So it goes the other way.
What's better than when you go to scratch your eye and they flinch?
But honestly, my old relationship, I could relate. Yeah, you walked around feeling like you were in trouble. So yeah, you're hitting on something.
So I was in L.A. and at 6 in the morning, my hotel room phone rang. My phone rang, and my wife at the time was crying. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Did she find a phone sex bill? She can't talk.
And I'm like, what is it? And then she tells me, turn on the TV, and it's both the World Trade Center towers are on fire. And I was like, woohoo! That's the only person.
Oh, shit.
That's the only person to be deeply relieved
that it wasn't something else.
That 2 planes were flown in the world.
Something wasn't. It wasn't
that America would never feel safe again.
That's a great show.
Anyway, I did it. I told that story at the Comedy Cellar, and this guy stood up in that little room and said, "That's not okay, man. It's not okay." And he walked out. So then I'm upstairs talking to Mark Maron, a comedian.
Yeah.
And I said, this guy told him the story, and I said, I hate people that pick the thing in the show. That's what I'm offended by, because I said all kinds of shit in that show, and he let it go, but that's his sensitivity. So I said it's really narcissistic of people to decide what they're going to be offended by. And Mark said, that's how insane it is that you're calling that guy a narcissist, when that joke is the most narcissist thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's only important to
you were pleased that thousands of people were dead because you weren't in trouble with your fucking wife, because you didn't know how to fucking face your wife.
Shit. That's really funny.
Once in a while, you get fucking shit. Like, I did a 9/11 joke. It was probably a year after, not even, and I was doing something, and it wasn't a knock on 9/11. It was like somebody misinterpreting it. But the woman in the audience...
It wasn't a knock on 9/11?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to insult 9/11. Hey. It was a brilliant program. I mean, it's one of the most successful things I've ever seen.
But it was one of those things where I knew the person was misinterpreting the point of the joke, and she was kind of like saying something, and the woman behind her was looking at me, and she was just shaking her head no, like don't do I started going after her, and the woman behind her was like, and I backed off, and then they told me after, like, yeah, her husband died, and so I was really happy I backed off, because I was gonna make it a whole big thing like that, like, you fucking cunt, what the fuck, don't mind me talking about rape,
right?
But once in a while you back off and you're happy you did. It's like, even though technically, all right, she was being annoying.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking to a group of people, and you could never be aware. You can't make people fill out a thing and then do a data report.
Right.
Well, that's why anybody that calls or however they get in touch with us and they say something like, I'm a big fan of the show. I've been listening for years.
But that one
thing. When you said this, and it's like, you listened for years. You know how many fucking people we probably upset over the years that weren't you? You fucking idiot.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But, and a lot, also, some people get offended just because I'm sure there's 9/11 victims who find that shit funny. There has to be.
That has to be, right.
A lot of times when we make fun of these things, we're just using them as in a context. The thing I said is about the misery. Marriage is so prohibitively constraining that a national disaster is good news.
It's not so
to
much
you
making
if
light
it's not
of the
your problem.
disaster. It's showing how awful marriage is.
It's also brutally honest.
Yeah.
A lot of people have felt relief at something that wasn't affecting them that was worse for other people. You were just being fucking ugly and naked and honest about it. That's the beauty
and look,
of it.
this is the most fucked up thing to say, but if you suffered
you could have stopped the attacks.
I could have, but I wanted the bit. I had inside information, but I thought, God, that bit is so funny, I'm going to let it go. If you suffer directly or indirectly from something, you don't own it. You just don't.
No, you don't. You're right.
Unless your name is 9/11.
We have, all of us in here have goofed on things that have directly affected our lives. Sure. Personally affected our lives.
Of course.
And some of the things people know about, some they don't.
Yeah, but
whatever.
It's not
and
yours.
You just do it. It's not yours. It's not fucking, it's whatever it is. You put it over the air to make people laugh or think or whatever the fuck we're doing in here. But it's not, I'm not singling out all the people that this will offend. Hey, let me offend some people today with this. No, I'm going for the people that it doesn't
and
affect.
again, if you took part in something or something you suffered from something, that doesn't give you the right to, if it's a thing that happened in the war, especially something that happened to the whole country, you don't get to control who gets to say what about it. And by the way, you get to get offended about it. That's my main thing about people getting offended. Yeah, you got offended, so that gets to happen.
That's
part of living on the earth.
But there's been this whole thing that's taken place over the past few years where people absolutely believe that there is a right
to not be offended.
To not
hear something.
And especially if it's over airwaves and stuff like that. They think that the FCC, they can complain to the FCC and say they were
offended by something and absolutely think that the FCC will go, hey, fuck you.
Well, you know, I subscribe to the thought that laughter really is the best medicine.
It's straight talking Jim.
Yeah, you know,
right.
I don't want to
Well,
get
I
too
remember
serious.
I got an email once because of the church, the Catholic Church video that I have on YouTube, where I go to the church and find out that they completely exist to fuck boys in the ass.
Hilarious, by the way.
And
fucking hysterical.
And I've gotten to number emails about that, and less than I thought I would.
Wow.
But it's funny that most people that complain about it, they'll say, Jesus is Lord and you've offended him, and I'm going to crack your fucking head open, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, I get that all the time.
Which is really an
people
odd
say,
little...
from a Christian point of view, you've hurt Jesus, and I'm going to fucking split your head open, you cunt. Like, they're so profane and so threatening.
That forgiveness shit goes out the window when it comes to religion.
But anyway, one guy wrote to me and said, my uncle is a Catholic priest and you insulted him. And I wrote him back and I said, no, I don't know your uncle.
It's not like I insult him.
No,
personally.
I made a broad joke about a whole group, and it's got nothing to do with your uncle. And he wrote back and said, I know, and then we wrote back and forth, and we figured it out.
And you two fagged out? What happened? I don't like the end of that story.
I got to interrupt because we got Ron Perlman outside the studio.
He's out at 8:15.
He only has a few minutes, so.
Well, the Joaquin character is like, for me, it's what Joaquin Phoenix can do that nobody else can. That was very poorly unexploited in the Joker. That was superficially exploited in the Joker, but brought out in real high relief in The Master in a way that's like disturbing how good it was. And the difference between those two movies is that one is a Marvel movie that needs to reach teenagers and people that still wish they were teenagers, and the other one is a sick, beautifully realized fantasy of a filmmaker who gets into some kind of a fever when he writes a movie and then executes it with extreme conscientious discipline. Very different categories, but that's what you get. But I like it.
Great.
I buy into him in every single movie he's ever made except the Joker.
He definitely looks like when he's punching through a wall in this, he's like looking for the Oscar in the wall, like he's trying so hard. But like,
I don't think, I think he talked himself out of an Oscar from the first. This movie was never destined for that. This movie flies in the face of that. I don't think that he's hoping. It would have been insane for him to get an Oscar
for that.
He got nominated.
He got it for Joker, which is
they were both
exactly.
nominated.
There you go. That's where you go for the Oscar
for the cartoon.
Marvel movie.
I love how you say Marvel. Say Marvel instead of DC, which I love so much because it'll make people.
Oh, is it DC?
Yeah.
Okay. YouTube comments are already flying. It's
yeah, people are gonna be livid. They won't be mad though because it's you. If Ron made that mistake,
I don't think anybody expects me to love. No. I appreciate what the Joker was going for in a sense, but. I just didn't buy.
My issue is Marvel. I just don't care about characters that are different colors. Like people like cry at those movies, and it's just like insane to me.
I can't believe anyone gets emotionally, but look, it's not for me. I'm not that. Somebody likes it. It makes it good.
I went with Avengers.
Love the movie. That means it's a great movie, but it's. I'm just not on the.
I do have one more question.
Oh, okay. We got to get him out of here.
What would be your advice to any young filmmakers or comics who have to deal with the social media content cycle?
Talk directly to Homeless Pimp. This is a question
social media content cycle?
Yeah, like you're forced to post to be relevant in the algorithm.
That's not true.
You don't think so?
No.
You think
you have to?
Right.
It looks like a road to success, but maybe it is for some people. You understand what you're doing with this algorithm is you're trying to get the attention of an artificial brain. It's a really weird endeavor, is to obsess about what will this... An algorithm is if I understand correctly, it's an equation. So you're trying to make that equation pick you up. Like it used to be that you either get obsessed with your own work, like you're just obsessed with your work. You love your jokes or you have a voice you need to get out. But then the other side of the spectrum was wanting to be famous. I want attention. But that used to make people think about what do people like?
What do people laugh at? What's appealing?
Right.
And looking at humans and looking at audiences and going, how can I make them get me? Or things like, how can I get the gatekeepers to give me a shot? These were obsessions. But now this abstract thing of like, how do I fit? How do I get this artificial brain to spread me to people that don't give a shit if I, the way it used to work is if you do something worthwhile, somebody might see it and share it with a friend. Like clickbait is old fashioned now. Clickbait is kind of Clickbait used to be something that'll get people interested and make people share things.
Right.
But they're not interested in humans sharing anymore. It's about literally fitting some weird, either because you are saying something, either because you're saying something popular that's in those 4 subjects, or and not cursing. All the things people are doing to stay out of the algorithm are weirdly self-sanitizing, fucking sick things to be doing with your work.
Yeah, it's true.
It's the worst thing you could be doing right now, is trying to follow the algorithm, trying to be as much like other people in the algorithm as you can be, and trying to shave away any part of you that might not fit in the keyhole. That's a sick, fucked up thing to do, because the target isn't even a human being. It's not even audiences. It's just it's a computer. It's taking part in something that's really sick. If you go against it and you just don't give a shit and you just keep doing your thing, you live or die by it.
Yeah.
You spend your whole life trying to get listen to what you're saying, forced to post. That's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
And the amount of money that's being made by those companies because you just believe that you are a slave to that. There's no other way. And I saw another comedian get, and the club told me, the club looks at your follower numbers or else they won't book you. Well, my advice to a comic recently who was saying that, like, I need to get the numbers up so that I can headline. If you call a club and they go, what's your Instagram? You go, I don't have one. They'll go, excuse me?
Yeah.
I don't have Twitter and none of that. What?
Yeah.
I could, send you a tape, or I got a YouTube video, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll watch it. I think I made the point. It's just, I think it's a waste of time.
Yeah. Well, I think I actually, that's great advice, because like we are all like subconsciously, like, the era that I'm coming up in, you think that we feel, I was like, oh, everyone's doing crowd work clips. We got to post crowd work clips.
Yeah.
But we have, for the most part, I think not really. We've been shadow banned. We're still shadow banned, but we just don't care.
I have somebody who does an Instagram for me. I've got an official Instagram, and somebody sends out clips from my series that's on my website. Louis is on my website now exclusively.
Right.
So I wanted to draw attention to it. So we have clips from the website and my specials that just goes out, just clips from the work. And at first I was told, so we're not going to put any cursing in. And I was like, no, let's stay like let's do the opposite. Let's stay out of the algorithm. I don't want I don't want this to go in the algorithm. I want these clips to go. I want people to share them. And there's like almost an exact number. Every clip is a ceiling to it. It's clear that I'm not there. I'm not going.
Right.
I'm being shared by the same amount of people every time, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If you're up and coming, it makes life harder. But this is a hard fucking thing to do. It's hard to. At what price do you want to fucking?
You don't think it'll impact comedy overall if everyone subscribes to these new rules?
To what new rules?
Being forced to post and
I think it hurts comedy. I know it does. Young comics there's a stagnation in comedy. You always see new guys come up and you see people getting better. I see it. That it's grinding to a slow crawl now. Folks aren't getting, I've seen people that I saw getting funnier stop getting funnier.
Interesting.
And I've seen some of the newer comedians, they just become more interested in this and keeping this going because they get big enough that this gets huge. And then they get allured. There's comedians that got big, and I love comedy, so I get excited. We just quietly watch them go, that's a new voice. But then they get so big that this blows up, and then they go like this, and they're not doing the jokes they're not getting better anymore. They're not obsessed with the jokes anymore. They're just getting bathed in the sunshine of this thing now. It's like the other side of it from young comics who just can't quite get there. When this blows up,
how do we stop that though? What's going to happen?
Well, you got to. I just think that this is not. It's not good for comics. Should be starved for attention and should just be feeling alone And also, all you should be thinking about is your work. All you should be thinking about is what you say to the audience, no matter how many, if it's 20 at an open mic or 100 at the cellar or wherever you are, because that's the only thing that's going to make you look back at your life and be happy with it. That's what, like, I remember when I used to do pilots, when you did a pilot, you go to the network and you try to do what they want the whole time. And they go, yeah, what about that? And you go, okay. And you keep doing what they want.
Yeah.
And then they watch what they ended up making.
Yeah.
And they go, they don't like it.
Yeah.
And you hated the work.
Yeah.
So who the fuck got served?
Yeah.
The last time I did it, the only pilot I did that went, the show Lucky Louie, it was like, I got advice from this guy, Phil Rosenthal, who ran it.
Sure.
He said to me and my partner, just make the show you want because they're not going to pick it up. They're not going to pick it up anyway.
Yeah.
So at least you spent a month making something you loved. Nobody will ever see it.
Yeah.
But you'll look back at that month well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it'll be a piece of tape that you'll be proud of. That's all you got.
Right.
That's all you have. If you get there through that, you're not going to be happy. That's not, what are you?
Yeah.
And the king of the algorithm? The fuck kind of life is that?
Yeah, it's true.
It's easy for me to say because I've been through it all, but I went through my own version of it. I've been doing this for 38 years, and I didn't get big till I'd been doing it for like 25. Well, that's how long it took me. So I'm not talking from. I'm not like a guy who exploded after 5 years, and then I'm like, yeah, you guys don't need this stuff. I mean, I did it the hard way,
right?
And that road, that 25-year road, was, to me, it's the only road to really being a great comic. It's also the same road to shit, to nothing.
Right.
Because it takes 25 years to find out that you never should have started. It's the same road. It's a rough fucking life.
Wow. It's amazing, man. Yeah. That's actually great advice that you almost never hear. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you got to go. Kids, get on the algorithm, guys. It's the only way.
Do you remember your first open mic night? Was that how you started? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll never forget that.
Can you tell us about it?
Well, I got this. I found out that you could do open. There was an open mic night at a club in Boston where I started called Stitches, and I was actually like 17, almost 18 years old, and I thought, geez, you can go on stage. They said you do 5 minutes. You just put your name in a hat and you get on stage. You can be anybody. That was so exciting to me. So I went to this club Stitches, which is very grown up. They didn't even want to let me in because I was underage, and they have a drinking, a liquor license. And then I went on stage and I did about 2 minutes because I didn't have enough material. Like I just ran, I sputtered, my whole throat constricted, and I heard this roaring in my ears. My eyes were watering. My heart was pounding, and I couldn't control myself. I couldn't think straight, and all these adults, like drinking adults, were looking at me like I'm an idiot. And I just walked off stage to kind of confused, like, little applause. And I just felt like a pile of garbage. And then I kept doing it.
Okay, so you did really terribly on stage.
Yeah.
What made you think, I need to do more of this? I want to get back on there.
Well, I didn't do it for a little while, and then at the time I was working at a video rental store in Newton, Massachusetts, where I grew up. And Kevin Meaney, who was a very big star in the Boston comedy scene back then, Boston had a very strong local scene. And I knew who Kevin was. I heard him on the radio and stuff. And Kevin was a customer at the store I went to, that I worked at. And I told him that I had done an open mic. And he said, oh, well, you got to come on my show. He had a show that was a huge, him and Steve Sweeney, these two great comics. They had this show where they would, they'd pack the room and put on all the best comics in Boston. And he said, come be on my show. And I said, well, no, I'd need to practice, do more shows to get good enough. And he said, no, I won't let you go on my show unless you go on now. He said, it's interesting because you don't know what you're, like, it's comedy tragedy. He kind of wanted me to go on and bomb. And so I went again to